What is going on, people? Woo! How is everybody doing this evening? Oh man, it's been a while since I've done this. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm a tad bit nervous. You're wondering why is he nervous? He's done this before. He should be used to it. Listen, first off, welcome to the how can I say this? To the revived, to the reboot, to the remix of On the Mic. I'm your host, Mike Jones. I appreciate everyone who has taken time out to tune in. I'm going to be on here, and this is something that I plan on doing. I plan on being on here for an hour, at the latest, an hour and a half, depending on how good the conversation is going, depending on the energy, you know what I'm saying? First off, I just want to apologize for those who were rocking with me since the beginning. I know it's been a while. It's been a long while since I've done this, and you know, I've had various people ask me, over the past several months, hey, are you still doing On the Mic, or when are you going to be doing On the Mic again? I enjoyed when you did On the Mic. I'm gonna keep it a buck, y'all. 2020. 2020 is the reason that I did not decide to do On the Mic, because everything that was going on, oh man, from COVID to all the protests to just everything in between. Start off the year with we lost Kobe. I mean, oh my God, so much happened in 2020. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, man. I just did not have the energy to give and to speak on that stuff. It was too much. It was too much. And just for myself mentally, I just could not find myself sitting here on a weekly basis and talking about the fuckery known as 2020. So we got 2020 out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's 2021. It's a new year, a fresh start, new beginnings. For some of us, we want to continue to drag the chaos from 2020 on to 2021. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As you can see, you have this logo here. I'm trying to match. See this logo up here? Yeah. A lot of you may be familiar with this logo, with this artwork. This popular piece of artwork, this popular character, this Queen Nubia over here, is the artwork by none other than my amazing and talented wife, Raven Jones. If you want to check out her artwork, go to ravenjones.com. You can go on her Facebook page at Raven Jones, Raven Jones Art, Raven J Art, I should say. Please check out her artwork. You can find that Black Lives Matter shirt. I got a hoodie with this character on it. And my wife is just an amazing artist, man. An amazing artist, an amazing talent. I know a lot of you have bought merchandise from her, with her characters on it. And for those of you who have, thank you. Thank you. So every week when I do this, you're going to see a logo. You're going to see some artwork of my wife's up here, because just like my wife supports me, I support my wife. And that's the beautiful thing about marriage. You support each other. But man, but yeah, like I said, man, I apologize for such the hiatus with this, man. Even before the events that took place yesterday, I just had a burning feeling inside myself. Like, look, man, I'm going to bring back On the Mic. First of all, shout out to StreamYard. This is the stream in which I am currently having this live feed on. StreamYard is a very awesome tool to utilize, especially if you're into podcasting, if you're into streaming. Please go ahead, check out StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? You can have a free account, where you can stream, or they have other plans and stuff that you can use that you can stream more, record, and just be able to just interact with people on a daily basis via streaming. So shout out to StreamYard. Man, with that being said, also, I'm going to try to do this every Thursday. I feel like Thursday, just like in the past, Thursday is a good day to do this. Thursday around, The 5 between. I'm gonna keep it at 6 o'clock. I think 6 o'clock, right at dinner time. Folks, majority of folks are home. They're settled. And I think it's a good time and a good day for us to chop it up, man. So, before we get to the the real nitty gritty, man, the real nitty gritty, the real crux of the situation, man, I want to give out some flowers, man. And as you look at the bottom of this stream here, very prominent message that I felt needed to be said, needed to be seen about a tremendous woman who, when it's all said and done, she will be known as one of the most influential people in this country's history. She's a powerful woman. Says she beautiful woman of color. She has so much strength, and because of her work, so much change has taken place in this country politically. So I want to talk a little bit about Stacey Abrams, Queen Stacey Abrams. Man, for those of you who a little bit unfamiliar, Stacey Abrams, she is an American politician. She's a New York Times bestselling author. She served in the Georgia House of Representatives for about 10 years, from 2007 to 2017. 2018, she ran to become governor of the state of Georgia. She lost in a very close election, and that election had controversy. That election had a lot of controversy. And, let me show y'all this, man, because I ain't gonna lie. It's been a while since I've done this. I've been using this particular stream for a few weeks now, just with other podcasts that I've been working on and things of that nature. But let me show you what I can do with this. Yeah, let me show you what I can do with this, man. Because I don't want to just talk about Stacey Abrams, right? I want y'all to have a very clear picture of a very clear visual of who this woman is. So this is Stacey Abrams. This is Queen Stacey. This is the woman who spearheaded such political change in this country. This is a woman who has spearheaded such change in a state that has historically been a red state. Because of the works of this woman and other prominent Black politicians in the state of Georgia, the state of Georgia is now a blue state. It's now a blue state. And I just want to read off a few important pieces of information that I found in pertaining to Queen Stacey. And this was an article that was on CNN that was written by Faith Karimi of CNN. And, basically, like I said, she ran in the 2018 race for the seat for the Senate for Georgia, right? I'm sorry, let me take a swig of water. She was looking to become governor of the state of Georgia. She lost. And of course, when you see a lot of these politicians, you see them in these big races, and then if they lose, you may hear from them every now and then, or they just disappear. You may see them every now and then, or they disappear. You really don't hear from them anymore. But this woman who lost the Georgia's governor race by 55,000 votes, like I said in the beginning, this race was highly controversial. Her opponent, Brian Kemp, had made allegations that there may have been tampering going on within the voting process for this particular race. She shook that off. She was looking to become the first ever African-American woman to be governor of the state of Georgia. And let's think about that. This was 2018. This is how America has come a long way, but still has such a long way to go, man, as far as just equality. We are in the 21st century, right? We're in 2021, and we are still talking about the first African American to do this, the first African American to do that. When if you want to think about it, it should be a norm to see someone of color, a black person, be in more prominent positions. That should be a norm. But because of the country that we live in, because of racial disparities, because of white supremacy, we are just now as black people starting to scratch the surface politically. You know what I mean? And she has done so many amazing things, man. She has encouraged so many black and brown people within the state of Georgia to vote, man. Oh my goodness, she has done so many things. It was in this article. It was something very prominent here. I'm gonna read off a few paragraphs from this article, just to give you some insight as to how powerful her work is, how powerful this woman is, how influential this woman is. This queen. And just how much she changed things. As far as the state of Georgia finally becoming more diverse as far as voter turnout and things like that. With a diverse growing population and rapidly changing electorate, Georgia is not a future opportunity for Democrats. It is a necessity right now, it said. Georgia is every bit as competitive as prenatal battleground states. With one of the youngest and most African-American electorates of any competitive state, Georgia has demographic advantages that don't exist in other states. Georgia also has, and once again, this is an article from CNN, Georgia also has a growing Latino population and booming communities in and around the Democratic stronghold of Atlanta. The state's shifting demographics have played a key role, but so many investments in recruitment, training, and support for candidates from minority communities. The New Georgia Project, which was created by Stacey Abrams, said last week it has registered about 500,000 new voters. 500,000 new voters. Let that number sink in. This project, the New Georgia Project, a project that has dedicated itself to get minority people, black and brown people, to encourage them to vote, educate them about voting. They registered about 500,000 new voters, and it plans to continue knocking on doors. Oh man, let me go down here. Let's go down here. All right, here we go. After her narrow loss to Brian Kemp in the 2018 race, which would have made her the first female African-American governor, Abrams launched Fair Fight, which funded and trained voter protection teams in 20 battleground states. It targeted young and minority voters and educated them on the election and their voting rights. Once again, we talk about an organization, a project being progressive, being assertive, and making sure that minorities have the proper tools to be able to vote. We owe Stacey Abrams our greatest gratitude and respect, says Susan Rice, who served as National Security Advisor during the Obama administration. Rarely does one person deserve such disproportionate credit for major progress and change. I'm going to read that quote again. Rarely does one person deserve such disproportionate credit for major progress and change. This woman did this. This woman right here. Where's her picture? This woman right here. She did this. She spearheaded this whole change. The reason why Georgia is now a blue state, the reason why the 2 seats that are in the Senate are now blue is because of this queen right here. She spearheaded this. She led the charge. And like I said a few minutes ago, she will go down as one of the most influential people in this country's history. And do not be surprised if we see her name in the 2024 presidential ballot. Do not be surprised. And I also want to read a little bit about Fair Fight, the organization that helped, that she created to help with voter reform and voter registration. I'm gonna just read read basically what they promote here from Fair Fight. We promote fair elections in Georgia and around the country, encourage voter participation in elections, and educate voters about elections and their voting rights. Fair Fight brings awareness to the public on election reform, advocates for election reform at all levels, and engages in other voter education programs and communities. Excuse me. Voter suppression of voters of color and young voters is a scrounge our country faces in states across the nation. Georgia's 2018 elections shone a bright light on the issue with elections that were rife with mismanagement, irregularities, and unbelievably long lines and more, exposing both recent and also decades-long actions by inactions by the state to thwart the right to vote. I'm gonna read that again. Georgia's 2018 elections shone a bright light on the issue with elections that were rife with mismanagement, irregularities, unbelievably long lines, and more, exposing both recent and also decade-long actions and inactions by the state to thwart the right to vote. Georgians and Americans are fighting back. Fair Fight Action engages in voter mobilization and education activities and advocates for progressive issues. In addition, Fair Fight Action has mounted significant programs to combat voter suppression in Georgia and nationally. Fair Fight PAC has initiated programs to support voter protection programs at state parties around the country and is engaging in partnerships to support and elect pro-voting rights progressive leaders. Again, look at this stuff. Look at what this queen has her hands on filled with. Look at what this queen has created. Look at what she's created. You want to talk about black girl magic, black woman magic. You want to talk about being progressive. You want to talk about actually standing up and making a change. That's what Queen Stacey Abrams did. And that's what she's continuing to do by further promoting, the importance of voting to people of color. And look what has happened. Hell, Joe Biden he gained over 2.4 million votes in the state of Georgia. That's more than 500,000 of votes that Hillary Clinton got back in 2016. And all of this is spearheaded by Stacey Abrams. And you see here the little ticker below here, Stacey Abrams is a shero. She is. She's a shero. And you're going to see that all throughout this broadcast because that's what she is. And because of her works as a politician, as her works as a woman of color, she spearheaded this movement to where we are now witnessing the first ever African American in the Senate for the state of Georgia. So when it's all said and done, Queen Stacey, put my mic down for a second. Way to go, Queen. Way to go, Queen. Hey, Queen. You are amazing. Oh man, you are so amazing. And I'm just thankful that I witnessed that I and so many of us are just witnessing this. We're just witnessing the amazing work that you put forth. The fruit of your labor has been shown. And man, I cannot wait to see how not only the state of Georgia progresses politically, but just how this country improves slowly but steadily throughout, as time goes on. And I'm just reading the comments here. Like I said, I'm still getting used to StreamYard, so I got comments here. I'm looking right here on my phone. Just looking at the live stream, seeing how that's looking. I got a lot going on right now, so just be patient with me, y'all. But yeah, man, shout out to Queen Stacy. Shout out to this Shiro, man. She is so awesome. Now, because of the amazing works of Queen Stacey Abrams, because Georgia is now a blue state, is now a Democratic state, all hell broke loose at the nation's capital yesterday. So I'm at home on my lunch break, right? Oh, I'm gonna get to all this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to all this. Oh, don't you worry. I'm just building this up. I'm just letting this build. But we're gonna get to all this. We're gonna shoot the shits in a second. Also, I wanna I'm trying to keep the stream and the content more clean, but it ain't gonna be clean today, damn it. So I'm at home yesterday on my break, just minding my business. I'm just casually just scrolling through Facebook because I'm bored. I'm on my break. I ain't got shit else to do, right? And I just keep seeing all of these statuses like, oh man, they tripping. Oh man, what is going on in Washington? Oh man, they done broken the Capitol Hill. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what's going on in our nation's capital? So, and this is about 1:30, and I'm sure this is when I found out all this was going on. So, during after the amazing news of the morning, with the state of Georgia, all the work that was put in by Stacey Abrams, we have Reverend Warnock getting elected as a senator in the state of Georgia. Just a few hours later, you have, let's keep it a buck, you had a terrorist attack in the nation's capital. A terrorist attack of epic proportions. A terrorist attack fueled by one man. You know that man. We all know that man. Captain Orange himself. The Orange Man. Donald Trump. So, thousands of his supporters decided to storm Capitol Hill, right? They're so upset about what transpired earlier in the morning. The state of Georgia, finally turning, red, finally turning blue, and this is the first time in a decade that the Democratic Party has control of Congress and the White House. I'm going to repeat that again. This is the first time since President Obama's administration that the Democratic Party is controlled by, the Democratic Party controls the White House and Congress. Oh boy, were those Trumpers mad, man. And before we get down, I just want to show some visuals of just white privilege at its finest. Let me show y'all some visuals that I've scrounged up, that I've collected over the past 24 hours. Let me just see how blatant. Let me just show y'all how blatant white privilege is. I know a lot of y'all may have seen these pictures and stuff yesterday, but still, for the sake, let's just show them. Oh, I got to show these, man. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Queen Stacy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these thugs climbing the walls of Capitol Hill. Look at them. Look at this. Look at this. It's climbing the walls. Look, they got barricades here trying to climb through. Got people grabbing each other trying to get over this wall. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at all this. Look at these thugs. Look at these hooligans. These scoundrels. Just look at these animals. Look at this. Look at all this. This is inside Capitol Hill. Look at this. Look at this douche. Look at this dude. Look at this guy. Don't he just, isn't he just the embodiment of just white privilege? Look at him. Look at that smug look on his face. Like, just look at all this. Just look at this. Again, the same idiot right here. Look at this. Trust the plan. What plan? What plan are you talking about? Look at all these idiots in the back. All these Trumpers. Look at this shit. Look, I got more pictures. Look at this. All throughout Capitol Hill. Look at this. Just the arrogance. Look at this. Look at this. Just raiding Capitol Hill. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this. Look at him. What the hell is he wearing? What the hell is he trying to represent here? What is this? I mean, this is just, oh my God, man. This is just so outrageous, right? It's so freaking outrageous, bruh. And let me, and look, I found this picture yesterday, right? Look at these assholes here. Just look at the names of these clowns. Founder of Proud Boys Hawaii. Leader of pro-gun rights. Look at it. I don't even know what this even says. I don't even think he knows what this says or what this means. Far-right activist. Look at all these extremists. Look at all these terrorists. Look at these guys. These are the type of men that Trump has been ignited, that has been instigating. He has been encouraging. He's been riling up animals like this for the past 4 or 5 years. Been riling them up, getting them hyped. We seen what took place in Charlottesville a couple years ago with the tiki torches. Hell, we seen what happened just this past year in Michigan. When those idiots invaded the state building in Michigan. This has been brewing. These are the Proud Boys that Trump mentioned during the presidential debate when he told them, Proud Boys, stand back, and stand by. These are the clowns who he's talking about. Fools like them. Look at this fool. Look at this idiot right here. He's sitting in an office in Capitol Hill. While Capitol Hill is being destroyed. And you know the irony in all of this? They have nothing to gain here. What do you gain by doing this? What do you gain? And you know, I find it so ironic, man. It's laughable at this point. Because when I was reading up on this stuff, man, and I was just seeing pictures and just seeing these photos and stuff like that, man, the first thing that came to my mind was people that came to my mind, George Floyd. Let me get these motherfuckers off my screen, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep moving forward and try to keep the content clean, but not today, goddammit. Get these motherfuckers off my screen. I think about George Floyd. I think about Ahmaud Arbery. I think about Breonna Taylor. I think about Elijah McCain. I think about Trayvon Martin. I think about Mike Brown. I think about Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Sam DeBow. So many Black people who were brutalized and murdered by police force. Ahmaud Arbery was just jogging in a nice neighborhood, looking at houses, minding his own business before he was harassed and murdered by white men who felt like they had the power to do so, calling it a citizen's arrest. I think about George Floyd, who for 8 minutes and 47 seconds was who died while a grown man had his knee on his neck. I think about Breonna Taylor, who was murdered in her sleep. All due to a drug bust that went wrong. It had nothing to do with her. Tamir Rice was playing with a toy gun, being a kid, shot down within seconds of the police's arrival. And none of these motherfuckers got shot. I didn't see no tear gas. I didn't see no forceful restraint. I didn't see people in cuffs. I didn't see none of that stuff. What I saw yesterday was the embodiment of white supremacy, the embodiment of white privilege. For those people to barge into a federal building, not just the perimeters. We're not just talking about the parameters. We're not just talking about the outside. No, they got into the goddamn building. With little to no restraint. And nothing was done. Now, there were people who lost their lives in this. People who were a part of that mob, a part of that terrorist attack, who died. But could you imagine if 5,000 to 10,000 Black people decided, hey, we're going to crash Capitol Hill? That 4, you would have to add a few zeros after that 4. If those people inside Capitol Hill were Black, it would have been a massacre. It would have been an extermination. Every Black human being would have been shot dead at Capitol Hill. But see, this is what we talk about, though. This is why we chant Black Lives Matter. Because so many people who has a lack of common sense, who suffer from cognitive dissonance. When we say Black Lives Matter, they translate it as, oh, so you're only saying that you matter and I don't? Well, our lives matter. We're not saying Black Lives Matter only. We're saying Black Lives Matter too. Black Lives Matter as well. We just want equal treatment. We want to be able to go home, get in our cars and drive and not have to sweat and worry about the police pulling us over. We want to be able to live in nice neighborhoods without being racially discriminated against. We want to be able to go to nice restaurants, nice stores, and just live our lives. Be treated equal. Be treated equally. That's what we want. That's what we wanted this whole time. It's also they love to talk about, they love to bring up this term black on black crime. And boy, the irony what took place yesterday. Boy, all that white on white crime. Boy, look at all those Blue Lives Matter folks, because mind you, those Trumpers that were there, a lot of them are synonymous with Blue Lives Matter. You sit here and you talk about Blue Lives Matter, but what were you doing yesterday? You were being flagrant. You were attacking police force. But see, I figured something out though. Blue lives only matter when the blue lives are policing black lives. I'm gonna say that again. To a lot of these folks, blue lives only matter when the blue lives are policing black lives. Just let that marinate for a little bit. Just let that marinate. Just think about that. Just think about that for a second. Where were all the Blue Lives Matter people at yesterday? Where were all the pictures with the police badge and the blue stripe going across it? Where were those profile pictures at? Where were those people at yesterday? Where were they? I mean, can somebody answer that for me? Where were they? And you know what's so... oh, man. And you know what's so just outrageous about this? What's even more outrageous? This was a planned attack that was spearheaded by Captain Orange. Well, how do you know it was spearheaded? How do you know that? Yeah, let me show you some proof. Let me show you some pictures. That was let me show you some tweets. That was posted by one Mr. President. Let me just show you what he was talking about. Okay. This was on December 19th. I'm going to just read the bottom of this, the last sentence, because it's the most important sentence of this tweet. Big protest in D.C. on January 6th, which just so happened to be yesterday. Be there. Will be wild. Zoom in. If this lets me. Well, probably won't, but whatever. Again, big protest in DC on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild. So again, this was damn near 3 weeks ago, planting the seeds. Let's look at another tweet. The big protest rally in Washington, D.C. will take place at 11 a.m. on January 6th. Location, details to follow. Stop the steal. Again, this was just right after this fool was just complaining about 11,780 votes from the state of Georgia. So he was planning this. Hell, like I said earlier, that statement he said during the presidential debate, talking to the Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. He was planting those seeds. Been planting these seeds for the past couple months. For what transpired yesterday. It was building. And you want to know the irony of what he said? Let's look at this tweet from last summer. Let's take a look at how much of a walking contradiction this fool is. Anarchists, agitators, or protesters who vandalize or damage our federal courthouse in Portland or any federal buildings in any of our cities or states will be prosecuted under our recently reenacted Statues and Monuments Act. Minimum 10 years in prison. Let me read that again. Anarchists, agitators, or protesters who vandalize or damage our federal courthouse in Portland or any federal buildings in any of our cities or states will be prosecuted under our recently enacted Statues and Monuments Act. Minimum 10 years in prison. I want to know something. If you said that back in July of last year, you said this back in July of last year, where was that energy at now? Or were you just perpetrated last summer? Were you just perpetrated? Because it was your people that did this yesterday. It was cool with it. And you would know what else was funny? He told the people that he was going to be there. And guess who wasn't there at the end of the day? He wasn't. He wasn't even there at Capitol Hill. He riled those folks off and then took his ass back to the White House. It just shows how little he thinks of his supporters. Like, you idiots. You actually thought I was going to join you. Ha. Got you again, suckers. Just a bunch of suckers. Just a bunch of suckers. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, excuse me, welcome to the Revitalized on the mic. We are back, baby, better than ever. See, I got a new look. I'm not doing this on my phone no more. Boy, we done came a long way on this podcast, man. Woo! Woo! I got a good dependable streaming service. You know what I'm saying? I can record, do what I want to do. I ain't got to waste no juice on my phone. Woo! Man, welcome. Earlier we were talking about the amazing Queen Stacey Abrams and just giving her flowers for all the work that she's done, man, as far as getting people in the state of Georgia to vote and change that state from red to blue. Now we are just roasting these terrorists. Because that's what these people are. The terrorists. And what's so ironic about people when you just listen to people and all these political figures talk about this, just people on social media talk. Oh, they mention words rioters and protesters. No, that's not who these people are. They are not rioters. They are not protesters. These are terrorists. White supremacist terrorists. That's who these folks are. That's what they represent. They represent white supremacy. When they talk about make America great again, white supremacy is on the forefront of that. That's why these people conducted that terrorist attack that was spearheaded by President Orange. Because they fear white supremacy slowly slipping away. It's slowly melting. And when you are in a position of superiority for so long, and in this country for 400 years, when you're in a place of superiority, you will do whatever it takes to keep that advantage. But by all means, you will do whatever it takes to keep that advantage. You got to think, Trump's last day in office, if he makes it to then, is ironically January 20th, which is my sister's birthday. And I was watching FS1 Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. And, they were talking about this, of course. And Shannon Sharpe brought up a great point. He said, if they did this yesterday, what do you think they're going to do on January 20th? What do you think they're going to do if he gets impeached before then? What do you think they're going to do? What do you think these terrorists are going to do if he gets impeached? What do you think they're going to do if he is put out of that White House in cuffs? Because that's what should happen. He should leave the White House and should be heading to a federal prison. And by the way, Iran has issued a warrant for his arrest. Yeah. Go ahead, Google that, Iran. They want that ass. They want that orange ass. And if this country was smart, if you're not going to impeach him on January 20th, have him in cuffs and send him right to Iran. Yeah. Let them deal with him. Let him serve their punishment. That'd be awesome. But I just hate the. Oh my God, man! It's just. The great thing about. I would tell you the one good thing about 2020, in particular, with seeing, the murders such as like George Floyd, is that we were all in quarantine, right? We were all at home. Couldn't go nowhere. So we were forced to see this. We was forced to see the brutalization and the murder of George Floyd. We was forced to sit there and see the injustices with Breonna Taylor. We were forced to sit down and see what was taking place with Ahmaud Arbery. We were forced to sit down and look at all this. For the first time probably in this country's history, we were all at a moment where we were all collectively watching this stuff at the exact same time. And when you look at those, when you compare those murders to those people, and when you look at what these thugs and what these terrorists did yesterday, it really just solidifies that we live in two different Americas. We live in two different Americas, man. One of my favorite quotes is from the ancestor, W.E.B. Du Bois. And when I was in college and I read his book, The Souls of Black Folk, this is probably one of the most prominent quotes that I've ever read. And this quote will forever stick to me. It will forever stick to me until I take my last breath. And he says, he mentions, first of all, he says that Black people are the central thread of America. His words, the Negro is the central thread of America. Meaning, we built this country. This country was built on our backs. This country was built off our blood, sweat, and tears, off our trauma. It wouldn't be no America if it wasn't for us. It wouldn't be no America if we did all that labor for free. And he also mentions the double veil, right? The double veil is basically, if you're white, you see America. You see all the advantages you have if you're white, right? You see all these advantages. Just life is just very crystal clear if you're white, right? But if you wear this double veil as a Black person, you see on one end of the veil, you see America. And then the other side of the veil, you witness America as a Black person. So think about this. Goes back to the point I was making earlier. Could you imagine what would have happened if thousands of Black people decided to crash Capitol Hill? Could you imagine the brute force that would take place amongst us? The brutality which will lead to fatality on so many of us if we decided to crash Capitol Hill. You know how long that list would be of all the names that would have been murdered by police if the people looked like me, if the people there looked like me, looked like my wife, looked like anybody Black. Do you know what would have happened? The massacre that would have took place. Again, that double veil. And because those people knew, because of their skin color, that they could get away with it, it just shows, man. We live in two different Americas. People of one skin color is treated differently than people of another skin color. It's the harsh reality that we live in. And it just shows that so many of those people, they fear the change that is slowly taking place in this country. They fear it. And like I said, they will do any and everything possible to keep that veil of white supremacy upright. They'll do it with no hesitation, and they will do it proudly. Because America is fueled by racism, is fueled by hatred, is fueled by superiority. And when those people, and when that superiority, when that's affected, man, people will show their true colors, man. America will show its true colors. And boy, I want to thank Trump because with his rhetoric, he has helped expose America for what it truly is. America, land of the free, yeah, for certain people. America, the quote unquote greatest country in the world, yeah, for certain people. But what about for those people who look like me? How do we get treated? Boy, could we just for one day, can you just imagine what it would be like if for one day, if we were just able to just as black people, if we were just able to just live just carefree. We don't have to worry about the police down our back. We don't have to worry about socioeconomic oppression. We don't have to worry about disparities in so many aspects of life. We don't have to worry about making it home. We don't have to worry about getting pulled over. Or if we do get pulled over, we can just sell the issue with the officer and just go home. We don't have to think, oh man, I hope this officer lets me go home. I hope this officer isn't in a bad mood. I hope this officer doesn't feel compelled to draw his or her gun out on me. But that's the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis. We've been dealing with this shit for 400 years. But because of people like President Barack Obama, because of people like Stacey Abrams, because of ancestors like the late Representative John Lewis, they planted these seeds for change. The seeds were slowly planted along the way. And we're finally starting to see some of our success bloom. And white supremacy is afraid of that. They hate that. But it's all right. White supremacy, your day coming. Your day coming. Your day coming. Because your boy, he's out of there. In a couple weeks, he's out of there. Hell, he has his own party turn on him. Let me show y'all one more thing before I sign off out of here. Let me show you what what one Vice President Pence showed. Look at his Twitter. Look at his Twitter banner. Who is this on his banner? This is from Vice President Mike Pence's Twitter. Look at his banner. His banner has the new president and new vice president elect. He's tired of Trump's bullshit. Hell, you even had the governor, Ohio's governor, throw dirt on Trump's name. This is the day of reckoning. This is this is the day of reckoning for Trump and for his supporters. White supremacy is slowly being crumbled, and they hate that. And I'm sorry, y'all. And like I said, the comments are here. I'm trying to read the comments and everything like that. I see a lot of good stuff here, man. See a lot of great comments here, man. I appreciate all the comments, man. Oh my goodness. But man, hey man, like I said, we are slowly seeing change. As someone who I'll be 30 this year, right? And I try to make sure that I'm more aware politically, and especially when you see stuff like this, when you see um, the courageous and extraordinary efforts of people like Stacey Abrams, it makes you proud as a Black person to see people who look like you have this much influence, And we got a long way to go, people. But when it's all said and done, for those of you who have fucking common sense, for those of you who have compassion, continue to love each other, man. To my white allies, thank you. To my white allies, thank you. Thank you for walking with us. Although you don't have the same experiences with your skin tone, thank you for walking side by side with us anyway. You say, I may not understand, but I will walk with you anyway. Thank you. That's what unity is all about. Thank you for that. And for those people who want to embark on white supremacy, your day's coming. Your day's coming. And you're not going to like the results. And when it's all said and done, when white supremacy is finally broken for good, you're going to see a lot of us Black folks looking at y'all like, we told you so. We tried to tell you. Are you going to listen to us now? All right, y'all. We're just over an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Yeah, on the mic. I'm gonna try to go live every Thursday, 6:00, and especially with this story going on, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be talking about this for the next couple of weeks, man. Oh man, this is only the beginning of this chaos. But like I said, that day of white supremacy, their day is coming. But yeah, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. Like I said, I want to start having guests on here, so because I don't want to I just don't want it to be me just talking, because sometimes, and that was a huge thing for why I had a hiatus on the mic. Sometimes I just get tired of hearing myself talk, man. But I promise you, no more hiatuses, no more, no more hiatuses, man. On the mic is back. We're gonna keep this thing rolling on a weekly basis. Like I said, if you want to be a guest, please inbox me. Write on my comments, please. Write on my wall, please. If you want to be a guest, let me know. We can collaborate, come up with topics to discuss, and just chop it up, man. And for everybody tuning in, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Much love to y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all don't know how much this means to me, man. I'm so glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad to be, just had a fire back within me to do this on a consistent basis. Man, thank y'all. I love y'all, man. Once again, you can go to please check out the YouTube channel on my YouTube channel. I will post a link again after I sign out of here. But yes, man, please. I'm trying to make on the mic productions a vital voice in the city of Cincinnati, man. I'm trying to make on the mic a vital voice, man. So please support, let people know about it, man. Let's get this thing rolling, man. Let's get this thing jumping. And once again, I appreciate all y'all. So until next time, much love. See y'all soon on the mic.